Alright, come on, page. Load. What is this thing trying to do? No. Come on. Load my page. Alright, well, I don't know why the rest of all of this is like not wanting to show. That's crazy. But, you know, that's Streamlabs and YouTube. Seems like they always want to fight each other. I don't understand why. Yeah, that's the base. Come on. Okay, got it. Evening, Metagants, and 3D Print Viking. How's it going? Wish I could figure this thing out, why it's... Okay, so the chat's starting to come up. There we go, there we go. Well, I guess technically that is everything that I asked for it to come up. So anyway, welcome, welcome. I don't know why it's trying to stretch the actual output. That's a little weird. Okay, well, I guess let me know if you can hear me well. Looks like there's only under a 10-second delay, maybe 15. So it's not too awful bad tonight. But yeah, so I've got so many like little projects that I'm trying to catch up on. And then the current plan is basically to move out from here at family's house to a new rental at the end of the month, to which I get the fun and joy of setting up a new office that really and truly is bigger than this, but the layout's weird. So I have to figure that one out. But then on top of that, I get access to a huge, like, full stand-up in outdoor shed that, if I can get the wiring done and hopefully some insulation, and I'm talking to the landlord to see, because that was on their list to do anyway, see when we might be able to get that rolling. If so, then the office will then be moved from inside the house to completely outside the house in that shed, and we'll do everything from there. So over the next couple months, it'll be interesting. But yeah. Okay, good. Audio's good. Let's see what else. Oh, the laser is still whatever. I don't even know. Apparently, even calling out Banggood on Twitter and on Facebook, I guess, really and truly doesn't even matter because they don't care. They said they care. They said they wanted to know my order number so that they could help me out. But then they still... Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little distracted here. I'm trying to read notifications. They still didn't do anything yet. Let's see if they've made any other adjustments here. No. All right, so nothing via Facebook. Let's check Twitter. See if we got another message. No, they still haven't responded since 6 hours ago when they tried to flip it at 1:30 in the morning, which is why I called them out a second time to say, you know, how is it that I explained that I opened the box and it doesn't work, and per your policy, within the first 7 days, you're supposed to send something out to me as a replacement, and you pay for the replacement shipping as well, provided that, you know, that part of it gets approved. And I send you video documentation, picture documentation, any of that stuff that you need to formulate the case to show that, you know, it was basically DOA. And then you're flipping it to say, well, we show that it was delivered to your home, so we can't be held liable for a lost package. To which I've never claimed that it was a lost package. I claim that the electronics are faulty. They don't work for shit. And thankfully, you know, to not violate any warranty that they have, I dug out the old Alien box temperature sensor because I haven't put it in the new container, and I reflashed that Arduino and stuck it on the board so that there's no way that I'm messing with their firmware per the instructions, since they don't tell me what is the updated firmware to begin with. And I got better but still crappy response. The motors actually move forward, back, left, and right like they're supposed to, but the laser still doesn't fire. I can't figure that one out either. And I use just generic Gerbil, and then somebody else said that I should try laser Gerbil. I don't know if there's much of a difference, since there's only one code that you really need to change between Gerbil to laser Gerbil to turn on the laser part. But maybe that's my problem, is I can't turn on the laser still with Gerbil because I didn't set that feature. I don't know. But it said the Gerbil version that I was using was from a laser package, so it should have loaded it, you know, everything just fine. So I don't know. I've got my, I don't know if you can see it, but down here in the bottom, all the yellow highlighter parts, I've got all the frame upgrades that I was going to do for the laser. So it's got cable chains to get stuff tidy. It's got nice solid feet that integrate with the frame railing so that that stays straight and there's not like this weird wobble. It's got a really nice adjustable laser mount with the Z-axis, so even though it doesn't have motorized control, I still have a way of doing the fine-tune adjustment that way and not just reaching under the focus knob all the time. So I figure once if I can get a laser fixed, whether it's this one or another one, then I can make like a little calibration block once I figure out the optimal focal length, and then that way I can just tap it on top of the material and then just adjust the top Z screw that comes with it and get it to the right height. That way you know, that way I don't have to mess with the lens all the time, and it's already, you know, done with that. But anyway, so that's kind of where the laser is at, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks. Like, support at first was great, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, well, the vendor is asking whether or not you tried hooking it up to a different computer to see if the motors are still acting crazy. And I was like, yes, I've already done that, and I said that in the video. I even tried it on my wife's laptop to see if, like, what was going on. I said, but connecting to a different computer has no control over your provided software that I have to use, BenBox, to connect to the BenBox firmware, and I hit go left and it goes at a diagonal. That, I mean, it doesn't matter what computer I use. I set it up per your instructions, and the firmware is most of the problem. Either that, or there's nothing wrong with the firmware, there's nothing wrong with the laser, but the board, the physical PCB, was not pinned out correctly, so the stuff doesn't work like it's supposed to work. I have not, to this day, I've been searching and searching and searching. I can find boards that look close to this, but that also have like an LED over here or a second push button over here, like the main one. And the only thing is this one thing in Chinese. I guess that's Chinese. I think that, I don't know what dialect it is, but I mean, Google Translate freaks out. It doesn't know how to change it, so I don't know what it is. I can't, there's nothing on the back other than right below the Arduino in 4 open pins, a D4, D7, D8, and a ground pin. That's it. But I have no idea like what it goes to, what it could go to. I've got no pinouts. So yeah. Minnesota Baker, welcome. Stupid chat. Alright, so my chat bot is kind of working, but I can't tell. Okay, alright, it's got everything. Oh, cool. Medic, you got a, or Vince, you got a K40? I was looking at the K40, but since I've never done lasering before, I figured I'd start with the cheapest, which is what I'm getting, is the cheapest, you know, just to see if it's even going to fit in my workflow. Because I've never done lasering. I don't know if I will like lasering. I don't really even have a lot of projects that would ever have required lasering in the last 2 years. But I've always looked at attaching a laser to one of my printers. But it was like, I'm going to have to do this mount, and then I'm going to have to constantly swap stuff. Hey, Sean. And it was just like, you're right. It could be for the cables. I really don't know. But that's the problem is, you know, I've already reached out to Banggood directly because it didn't have like a seller that was listed on the Banggood thing. And I went straight to their customer service, you know, and they're just like 10 days of emails back and forth when it even says that you have a 7-day DOA policy. And I contacted you on day 2 of it being here, because day 1, it got here Saturday morning. We did the live stream Saturday night, found out all those problems, and then Sunday morning, I sent off that email like immediately, which our Sunday would have been their Monday morning, right? No, my Sunday night would have been their Monday morning. So, you know, it wasn't much of a delay. What's up, Scott? So I don't know. I mean, I even paid the extra. Now, granted, it was only $3, but I paid the extra shipping insurance that says if the package is lost or damaged, that they'll just send out another one, you know, to maintain good customer relation. And I'm like, if I already paid for that, you got that, you know, as a warranty as well. With everything that's going on, I never claimed that there was damage on delivery. But if I've got that, why not just invoke it and just go, hey, whatever he's got is just, it's garbage. There's something wrong with it, but he paid for the shipping insurance. Let's just go ahead and send him another package and cut a label and have him send the old one back. Or use the 7-day DOA policy, send him another package, and cut the return label to have him send the old one back, because that's what one of the options there too. Or go into the regular warranty and send me the replacement parts, or send me another box from the LA warehouse, which is where this one came from, send me a replacement model, and then cut me the label and take back the other one. Like, all three avenues that I've looked at that I paid for, all of them should have the same outcome. This is piece of shit. It's DOA. Send me the replacement and we'll all be good. I'll send you back the old one. It's not a problem. I'm not going to pay for it because none of the warranties say I have to pay for it. So if you want it back, the old one, then send that. Otherwise, send me the replacement parts, the control board and a laser, since neither one is working. Then just send it to me, and then I'll ship back those, you know, whatever I don't end up using, or, you know, as soon as they get here, I'll send you back those parts. I mean, something. But anyway. Yes, Sean. Thank you. I completely didn't even see that email. I already printed them up. Unfortunately, I think I sent you the wrong camera mount. Son of a... I mean, this will still work for the other camera, which is good because I like having options. But I needed to send you this one that was like, it's just a solid piece because of the way that one, that 210 mounts. So yeah, obviously, I mean, it's a little too wide, but, you know, the middle part would just be open anyway. So very close. So I'm ecstatic about that alone. Yeah, because the mount on that camera goes on the outsides of these, and this is just a void area in the middle. So, but using this, I'm going to try to bring it into Tinkercad, and since this and this base top part was from the same file, this is one that I had to custom make anyway. I'm going to see if I can just, you know, merge that part together. But I do severely appreciate this first part, because that I couldn't get it to work right for whatever reason. And I do like the fact that you made it attachable or detachable, screw connectable, however you want to do that. I do severely appreciate it. Thank you so much. I would have been a little bit further with the camera issue already, but since now I'm going to be moving by the end of the month, you know, I'll have to... Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll send it over to you. Yeah, because I had to, like I said, I had to custom make this STL because nobody had anything. So yeah, I'll shoot that over to you. I'm trying to get caught up on my Alien unbox videos. I keep getting distracted. I finally put up that Order 4 video that I wanted to put up. So not only did we do our live unbox, but then I did a build video, which I kind of needed to do anyway. So I can't do everything live stream. And I was actually just about to start recording one with setting the Z offset on all three models that I have, the 0, the 1, and the version 2. Since I have all of them. I mean, setting it is the same, but the factory instructions have changed over the time. And so this was kind of an offset to say, okay, if you have any one of these three, here's a quick, dirty way of getting it to work like I have, and then you don't have to keep messing with it all the time. I mean, you just do the one, and then once you got it set, then, you know, you're good. But anyway. All right, looks like my chatbot's finally catching up correctly. Thrown together in OpenSCAD. I've never used OpenSCAD, so excuse me. I've used OpenSCAD, but that was to do the custom nozzle case, and that took forever to get printed right, because every time I made like one change, I don't know what my computer was doing, but it was taking like 30-40 minutes to update the one little change that I would make. So when I started typing the words, there was a delay of every letter, and then it would like start to process, and then finally it would do it, but it wouldn't re-render. And then I told it to render it, and then it could take, at one time it took like over 3 hours to just do the render. And then I told it, okay, export that as an STL now, or save it as STL, whatever the process is that I had done on a different project. And it was like, took a heartbeat. And that one goes, oh, well, you haven't even done a proper render yet. I was like, what do you think I just did for the last like 3 hours? So I'm not good at OpenSCAD by any means. But I've heard a lot of people saying that you can make little changes like that real easy. So maybe we'll have to do another class on learning how to do that. Let's see. So I've been trying to price out the parts for the NPCNC up there. Was the donation ticker. So that's the retail kit of everything. I was trying to see if I could send off a thing to say, okay, how much if I cut out like certain parts that I don't need. Like I've already got a 32-bit, what is this? This is the MKS base 1.3. So I've got that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 5 drivers, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So it's got 5 drivers. XYZ, E0, E1. I've got on the table or the floor, I don't remember. I've got the MKS 3.2 touchscreen. So because I kind of like the way that what's his name from Australia, Teaching Tech. Well, yeah, that's what I mean, Scott. I liked his video on his that had the dual ZN stop to level, but then he also did the touchscreen. I love that. So I was going to give that a go on this. But if not, I've got a bunch of other boards that, I could go more simplistic. Or if all else fails, I could just get a Arduino CNC shield. Or, yeah, he did it with the SKR 1.3. So, I could do that as well. But yeah, like extra power supply, or the power supply in the kit. I don't need it. I've got extra power supply up in my box. I've got this board. Depending on how my kid's printer goes, I might have all 5 extra motors. Depending on how this one eBay auction that I'm that I fell for, that I put a bid on. Right now I'm still winning. It's got 4 days, so who knows. But it's kind of an already broken printer. So if I can get it at a good price, then I'll have a whole set of extra motors and lead screws, some of the other parts that nobody, as long as they're decent, should work on the MPCNC load rider anyway. So I was trying to find out, okay, what other parts can I get him to package for me, and maybe make a custom one that, these are only the additional stuff that I need. I've got a lot of the other stuff, and then like the nuts and bolts, I can just run literally down the street to the Lowe's and just pick them up, or there's another nut and bolt place that I just got all the stuff for the laser that I could get all of it too, and get the electrical conduit all at the same time. So I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can severely cut cost, since I got a lot of stuff local here. Yeah, Sean, the touchscreen I was using on the big Delta right here. Not very much, but I was using it, so I've already configured it and I know how to do that. But he also has all of his custom buttons already set up for to do both CNC, and he already put a sub menu for laser. Not that I would need it, but if he's already got that, then that's pretty cool. And I like the button use, so I figured just use his image and play with it. Yeah, I know the aspect ratio is a little crazy. I don't know why this thing is going crazy on it. What's up, Carl? So yeah, that's kind of more stuff with the laser, I know, and the CNC. My problem is I need to take like my calipers. Streamlabs, once you're already started streaming, it won't let you adjust the output. It locks that whole table. I can't remember what I was thinking now. Oh, I need to get my calipers with the battery in it. Finally found a battery, but I need to measure the conduit pipe and see if it's the 25 or 25.4, and if it is truly the 1-inch outer diameter or whatever one I can get a hold of, so that I don't print the wrong size. I don't want to waste filament. I'm not, as lucky as some individuals that have access to a lot more filament than I do. Although that would be really awesome. But yeah. Oh. And I finished my very crude frame enclosure. It was not meant to do ABS. So I know that the sides are wide open between the two panels and the support bar. I fully understand it. I know that was the design I was looking for. My enclosure was more for frame, because I was trying to stop the very top from doing its little shimmy. So now when I barely move one corner, the whole printer like moves as one unit. So that I'm really looking forward to testing out here soon. But because I had all the hot end issues already, which is already, it's sticking out a bit. The radial fan finally died as well. The 30-30 fan they put on the extruder, I don't, if you forgot or didn't hear about, because it was a long time problem, would do that weird whining sound, and then it would hum, and then it would change speeds for no reason. Sometimes, I mean, it would go so slow that it was causing heat creep issues. You could flick it and sometimes it would start, or just at random it would just randomly change speeds on you. So I haven't installed it yet, but all the fans came in, and I've got a new J5 effector that's going to have 3 fans, all the 30-30 fans, but it's got a full ring styled bottom enclosure, so it's already got the cutout for the wire and then bolted on like that, and it'll do a full wraparound. Still leaves room for the little touch sensor. I really like the mount. I mean, it looks and feels nice. And what's really cool is it's with all 3 fans blowing in, the cold zone is definitely going to be cold. Like there's no way that it's not going to be. But then all the extra air pressure, it goes back out the large openings all the way around to go into the fan unit that lines up and then does it. So I was going to try it exactly like this as a 2-piece. And then the other thought I had was, since I printed it upside down anyway, and it only needed a few supports in the center, which cleaned up real easy. I was thinking of actually modeling it with this part perfectly lined up like it's supposed to, and then just print it as one solid unit, because as long as the heater block, you take out the cartridge and the thermistor, if it lines up just fine, the whole rest of it drops right through and will miss everything. So then all you got to do is just take that, the heater cartridge, slide it into the hole like that, which would line up almost right with the block if you rotate it just a hair, or if I would have. Yeah, if I rotate it just a bit, there we go. It's almost it's just a little off, but it's almost a straight shot through the wiring hole right in. And then you just tighten it down. And then it's one solid block, and then you don't have to worry about, it, like the air separation here, or even trying to find the random screws that go out there, because there's nothing on the documentation of anything that he used. But the effector rods look like they'll line up just fine if it's already got the captive nut, or the M3 captive nut areas. So anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to throwing this in there, getting it calibrated, see how well it's actually going to work, since I've got all the fans now. And then get this bad boy printing all the extrusions for the kiddo's printer. So yeah. Hey now, you do it too. So yeah, I probably won't even work on the Tronxy X5 ST-2E. I won't work on that until I get situated at the new place, so I actually have room. And then it'll be nice to actually, if I have the workshop actually set up, it's twice as deep and about about 1.5 times bigger than this wall to the end of my bench, and it has room in it that I can put this bench in there and still have plenty of walking around. So I'm hoping I might do it like the workspace, like into 3 sections. So kind of like my storage area slash project storage. Well, I guess that's all storage, but like more for parts, part storage, project storage, filament storage, like all the stuff that's going to kind of sit there. And then that way I have the other part of the workshop on both sides, so I can set up the computer and it can kind of do long ways, kind of like this, but then have it, all my workspace kind of set up. But then I got to figure out what to do with this computer, since I'd actually be working my day job from it in the workspace. So, I don't know. It will be interesting. Damn, I feel like I've been talking for like 5 hours and it's only been like 30 minutes. That's crazy. And then the Saturday night Maker Hangout is going to be like in 30 minutes. So if y'all want to join that when it comes up too, I'm not going to be upset. Like I said, just kind of catching everybody up so it didn't feel like I was hanging everybody out to just not know what's going on. I felt kind of bad. You know, I've been sick lately and having computer issues. It's pretty bad when the computer guy is having computer issues, you know? But anyway. Oh, there's the... So I had the touchscreen right there. So, yeah. Got it. So I still had the purple all over the case with the mount so that it would fit right on the front here of the printer. Just like that. And then I haven't used it much, mainly because there's still issues of a serial connection when you deal with dedicated motherboard input, such as if you put probe pause or a stow or deploy pause for your probing, and it's looking for the continue button, there's no response from the touchscreen to even say like there's something waiting there. And I brought it up to the development team and they were just like, I don't know. I'm like, you don't have a way of, for Marlin, since you're saying you support Marlin too, like you don't have a way of knowing what that keystroke is so that I can just assign a button. So when I hear the beep and I know what it's saying, that I can just push it on the screen and continue on. And they kind of threw their hands up, didn't want to do anything. So I was like, well, screw it. So I hadn't really messed with the touchscreen that much. I just do it on the regular screen. And then I got so used to that, I'm like, well, I'll just use the screen on something else now. So, I mean, it's not a total loss. Dedicated computer shop. Sweet. I thought I had a dedicated printer shop and a computer shop, and turns out I don't. It's kind of weird working from the home. I mean, I'm very blessed and happy and ecstatic and supportive of my job to support me to work from home. I know I give them a lot of hours, even stuff that's not on the books. Do a lot of the back research, you know, a lot of the different stuff, and really and truly, I mean, I'm on call even now for the next like month. I'm going into week 2 of this, so I got from tonight, next Saturday, the following Saturday, up until that following Friday night, and then that 4th Saturday from now, that would be when we switch over. So yeah, I've been very lucky to do that. That's what makes it hard, is because, you know, I'm doing all this and I'm loving doing all of this craziness with the printers, but because I still got my day job, you know, it's hard to sometimes balance workspace versus printer space versus hobby space, you know. It's like, it's a weird mix. But, you know, I am looking forward, like I said, moving to that workshop, because it's a fully outside area and it's got 2 windows already built into it. I can actually set up a laser unit whenever we get all this figured out, and I can already put the little divider thing in the window so that it can directly vent from the enclosure straight out. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, it does all blend together. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that I found a job that goes with my hobby. Like, I used to be into computers. I mean, I still am. I mean, I've been doing the computer maintenance and fixing, but now getting more and more into the networking sides. been doing it for 20 years. And it was really nice to do it all through my military career, as a hobby before any of that, a hobby through it, and then now continuing that I can do it, but now the computer part of it is doing the software for the printer boards. And so now I'm starting to get back into, okay, well now I need to worry about hardware, the design aspect. So it's pretty cool. I mean, well, that's interesting, Sean. I mean, I haven't used Cura in 2 years. I think the last time I honestly touched Cura was like version 2.2 or 2.3. Whatever when they did the first like real official brand over, and they were really starting to like do the development under the newer name instead of, you know, the open source 14 and 15 when they were like revamped it all. That was like the last time. I think I used it for 2-3 months when I first got my A8, and then I found the trial version of S3D, and I've been using S3D ever since. Sorry, you're looking at the chat over here. So yeah. Anybody else working on some cool stuff? I wouldn't mind being able to figure out how to get StreamYard to like let me do multiple people in this window space so that I can still have all the other crap up, or, you know, like make it where this part could be like the community feed, and then my camera can be like a dedicated one so that I could, you know, invite people in. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. It fights the cameras. So I don't, and plus having to figure out if OBS or Streamlabs is going to be better. I don't know. We shall see. Because if I use regular OBS, then I can never get it right. The chat right here doesn't quite work. If you've seen from one of the previous ones, and I have to do like the YouTube pop out URL part to get it to show something. But yeah, so who knows? Sorry, I'm launching Fusion and it's taking forever. Wonder if they've got to install an update again. Printer frame design, awesome. Do you have any concept art? What kind of printer is it? Because the one that I've got in the queue that I haven't gotten around to yet is, you can see the heated bed right there, that big white block. So that's a 530 by 530 heat bed. And a support frame is on the other side of it. So I'm trying to, I wanted to build a hypercube, but at the same time it's like, but it's a hypercube. Like, with that big of a bed, I don't want to run into any issues. Plus, I've already got the X5S. It's basically a hypercube. I mean, that's the design. It's just the belting is on top. I mean, it's Core XY, you know. So I'm like, what else could I make it then with that big of a bed? And the only other thing that I could think of was like a Voron design where the bed can stay motionless, but the whole gantry would move up and down. So I started looking at their plans, and they want everything strictly 2020, and they don't, for stability, they don't even want to entertain the idea of giving me any pointers, suggestions, help of any way, shape, or form if it's over a 350 millimeter bed. I was like, wow, that's, you know, I get that you want to have a high quality, you know, resolution printer, but I mean, I've got parts, like, you know, you don't want to try to say, okay, this would be like a Voron half, like not up to the same quality design, you know, because I'm using over the recommended size, but at least still attempt it and see, you know, see how bad it truly is going to be if the only thing is it's just getting bigger on every axis evenly, and but the rails can all still be 2020, or maybe look at doing 30-30 rails and adjusting your linear rail guides instead of the MGM 9H, which I figured out finally, because I have MGM 9C, so I've got the little ones, and I can't fit any of their parts on it anyway. But I already have rails, so it's like I don't know what else to really do with it other than hypercube. So, because that big of a bed, I don't want it sliding on a y-axis. I want y stationary. Well, excuse me. I want y to not be linear movement for the bed. I would rather it be either z moves, or again an xy gantry move away from the bed instead of the bed moving away from the gantry. Either one of those styles. And then depending on how long we stay at that other place, and if I get it designed well, then I might have room to maybe even look at doing a hang printer, which I've always wanted to do, just to play with it, you know. I'm not expecting to make any like grand parts out of it, but I like all of this technology is all really cool to me. I've got Cartesians, I've got a few deltas, I got Core XY. I wouldn't mind making it, you know, the different motion system like that for, you know, like the Voron, which I don't even know what they really would call it. And I can add laser. I'm going to add a CNC, hopefully, on both of that. Let's see, what else? There's that other one. Was it Polar? And then a Scara, I think, were the other two. So it's buffering real bad. Ah, crap. It's probably Fusion. Okay, well, how about this? We'll shut out Fusion. See if that helps. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll see if that cleared it up. I don't know why. I dropped it from 60 frames down to 30 frames, thinking that would help this stupid thing, like, figure out what it was going to do, and it doesn't seem like that's going to help it much. Okay, so it still has about 2 hours worth of checks. All right, we'll close that because I don't need that. Where is... There's my performance metric page. See, it's saying I'm only using 45% of the CPU, 30 frames a second, 0 drop frames right now, but it's wildly jumping up from 1600 KB to 3300 KB. Now 39, 29, 32. It's jumping all over the place. I don't understand why it's having such a problem. All right. Maybe me trying to pull live dashboard data, maybe that's causing it to have a problem. All right, how about we will do that, and then we will open we will draw using paint. It'll be lighter on everything here. So this is basically what I was thinking for the enclosure, right? Oh, nope. There. So we'll do our three angular axes if I can get it to do it right. So long box. Get it to do. Let's do here. Make it bold. Let's see. All right, so we have that, and this will be uh-huh. No, I don't know why. Putting it in now. So I was thinking adding, like, say, the screen on the front here. There's another shape. It's probably a little hard to see. Do a call out box so it looks different. And like on the inside down here would basically be where the motherboard is mounted. And then we'll do like that part at the top just be like a top handle that only like the very top lifts up, right? Let's see if I can draw that this way. All right, so there's I suck at drawing. Oh, all right, later, Scott. I'm gonna do all this in Fusion if I can get it figured out right. It says suck at Fusion still. Dang it, I thought that was already gonna be bigger. Why didn't it? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so there's the full outside of the box, right? And then have a so that'd be there, and then there. There's the handle. Okay, so essentially the laser, it would sit, do purple or bluish color. So the laser would basically be the inside edge of the frame of the laser itself would all be right here. This part would be let's do watercolor And it's still selected on the wrong thing. Fill solid. Let's do there. So that's going to be the laser safety acrylic window that's measured for the 450 nanometer. Dimensions aren't completely right, but it'll be basically, what is it, 1 foot or 2 feet by 1 foot. Was it JTech? I think is what the name of it is. They had an excellent deal. It's still, the laser certified, everything. So Canadian Maker Project. Forgot name. Man, my brain is not working right, but welcome. But yeah, that'll be the acrylic window to view the working area. This left side over here, like I said, it's going to be the screen and motherboard. So the thin line is going to be like where the lid opens. So it's this whole right side. And then here will be the cable chain and the extra motor, like where it sticks out and all that stuff. Like this will be like almost right up on the motor on this outer edge. And then I guess I would have room back here that I can make, like I may, let's see. I may do like almost a miniature enclosure piece right here, so I can put a fan to keep the board cool, you know, or put a side mount intake fan right here so that it'll breathe in fresh air. And then back here, and I may extend out like the box just a little bit, you know, that way. But then cover like that kind of thing, and make a fan ejection port to suck out all the smoke, like where it's here, so that like naturally the airflow will pull, you know, off of these sides to go out. So this right here would basically be just the cable chain. So I could, you know, go like that so that it'll try to, like I said, direct that airflow, and maybe just to make it a little more streamlined, do something. Well, it'd have to start kind of like that, unless I just almost closed off a secondary piece like that, or if I made it a little bit like of a curve. Anyway, something to kind of, you know, and like the inside corners here is going to kind of round off, you know what I mean, so that it gets good airflow through it, so it'll suck out as much smoke as possible, but not also be super loud, even if it's in the workshop. But I'm trying to make it where the case itself will be safe. So like I've already got from a salvaged dryer, one of the door limit switches, to protect, you know, for the door, so when you open, you know how the light cuts on. I'm going to wire it basically in reverse, so that while the lid is closed, the laser will get power. And then if you lift the lid to reach out, because you won't be protected by the glass anymore, if you lift that lid, it's going to kill the power, to be as a secondary safety. So like if the kids walk up to it or whatever, you know, and they decide they're not going to put on their glasses before, and they see it through the acrylic and they want to lift, then I don't have to worry so much about burning their eyes from the reflectivity. It'll just cut off the power to the laser itself while the printer itself is running. Though I could change that to just be like the kill switch of you open it and then the whole unit dies. I don't know. There's a bunch of ideas I've been toying around with, but like I said, I want to make it cheap, but I want to make it where, like, the idea behind it is easily scalable. So depending on what size laser engraver you get, you could like take advantage of this planned case kind of a thing. So I'm still toying out ideas with it. So I'm open to other suggestions by all means. I've got 2 different PC case fans. The, was it 120 millimeter, if I remember right. I don't think they're the 80s. I think they're the 120. But yeah, I got 2 spare fans so I can dedicate to this project, and then I've got a different fan that's an 80 from an, or it's like a 70-ish from an old CPU cooler fan that I could use, like, say, on the intake, or just as a static, sit right over top of the main board, kind of like the way that the Order did it. So it just constantly blows air on it, so it'll keep that cool, kind of no matter what. I was thinking of making like little panels for, you know, so you can drop the activated carbon filters, you know, to have like a little slot area that you could drop it in. That way the airflow will go through it before it ejects out, so that, you know, it's capturing that smell. And then I've already got plans to go over Mac's camera quick to try to modify this laser air assist. It's designed for a 33 millimeter laser housing, and mine's a 30. So, and I've been trying to search for just 30s, so I think I'm going to try to remix this to where it's not really adjusting much of the rest of the design, but purely like this part. And I know you could just add an insert, so it's not going to take much, but I still got to figure out, like, if the diameter for the focus that fits through here and goes almost up right here to where it'll touch the actual focus of the laser, so that you can reach out here and do it. I want to see if, like, if that all fits, then this is going to be really minor. But this will take a 50-15 radial fan as the air assist to blow the stuff away, to make it a little bit better while you're lasering itself. There's some other things about this design that I don't really understand or like, but being that it's the first time I'm really doing any of this, I'm being cautious to not be overly critical, because I don't know how the airflow actually works well in this, or if it works well. Some of the look I'm seeing is not going to work very well, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's kind of like the rough stuff that I've been working on, playing with, driving myself insane with, you know, all that good stuff. It's seriously only been an hour? Wow. My brain hurts. I got a pretty big headache. I feel like I've been talking for 2.5 hours, and it's only been an hour. That's crazy. But anyway, so that's kind of all the real thing going on over here. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? I know it's kind of boring tonight, and I do apologize. I may end up just like gonna go hang out with Mr. Buttram and the rest of the Saturday night crew over there, since I'm kind of just boringly sitting here, not really doing much of anything. I may try to go ahead and install that new effector, all that kind of jazz. Maybe I'll see if they'll let me join in camera-wise, so while I'm working, you know, there's other conversations going on. Be a little more interesting and than what I'm doing by myself. So yeah. All right. Picked up some. I do apologize, Sean. I didn't see your response about the printer type, but so using 1-inch square aluminum tubing in a standard Cartesian i3 design. How big are you going? What's wrong, doggy? Huh? Crazy dog. I had looked originally at the 1-inch square tubing to do, was it the ANET A8 Core XY conversion? But you know, sometimes I say you find some interesting people that run some of the different groups, and some of the very, very basic questions, because it wasn't outlined in any guides. Yeah, so that's why I'm not doing that project anymore. I mean, if you go in and ask for help and then get blasted after like the third question that you ask, and then get threatened to be kicked out of the group because you posted that you were doing a live stream, but it didn't deal with their project, so it made them look bad. So anyway, yeah. Again, that's I don't understand some people like that, so I'm not even going to try. But anyway, seems like I'm just going downhill. And oh, you're getting a photo upload. Oh, okay. I'll hang out and wait. Or if you want to just send it over to me on email, the same one, or Twitter, or however you want to do it, that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can find some meds for this headache, because it doesn't seem to want to go away, and I'm getting a little cranky from it. I don't want to push it off on you guys. It's not really fair. So yeah, we'll call it a night. Do it a little bit early, but I guess where is the link? Hold on, I'm not just gonna jump and run here. Let's get, there's the Saturday night maker groups link. I'll put that in the chat there, and I'll head over there in a little while too. Get this loaded. Man, YouTube is taking forever tonight. Saturday Night Makers, episode 10. Oh, there's already 20 people over there. So, there we go. Where's my chit chat? Bam. It's the, under Mr. Buttram's channel. It is the Saturday Night Makers, episode 10. Looks like I got quite a few people there, so. Robbie Mac, Mad Monkey, Tom the 3D Printing Llama, Mike Never Let the Machines Win, Shay. I think that's Shay Street, if I remember right. Got a bunch of people all over there, so yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna head over there. Be more entertaining than mine. Plus, you know, I still got weird Streamlabs issues, and we'll probably just, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out too. We may do this again next week with Streamlabs if I can get the output ratio right, but I got to figure all that out, and it might take too long, so we may just stick with OBS and just kind of deal without the proper chat, but who knows. Anyway, I'm rambling. So thanks for hanging out. I'll be heading over there. Yeah, right there. So appreciate it, and sorry it was a short stream. Like I said, it was just kind of like a little hangout. The design aspect's not working. None of that's really working on this computer tonight. I don't know, but oh, Sean just sent a link. Let's see. Oh, now that's cool. Why do you need me to sign up just for a picture? Jeez. What mess? Do you not see my office? I mean, I'm working on my work PC, which my desk is covered with crap that I probably haven't even touched in like 2-3 weeks. And then the only reason the workbench looks clean like that is because I cleared it off to make room so I could record. But normally they sit down there, and that is covered with all of this, all of that, all of this other loose parts, and then I got the printer. Yeah, my area is a lot more mess than that printer. That's actually very clean and tidy looking. That looks pretty awesome. Looks really simple design, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that looks like the